We are live. Welcome back to the West Coast Draft Podcast. As always, catching you on a Thursday night to talk some NFL football. As always, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Jacob Jokinen. How are you doing today, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing great. Better than expected Thursday night
Better.
game.
I
I
was gonna
enjoyed
say
it.
better. It was
I said
fun.
better. Yeah, it was a fun one. And
Yeah.
then I had a hot weekend, so I'm feeling
Yeah.
great.
I'm not feeling good about my Thursday night pick. The commies really made me look like a clown. But speaking of having a better than expected Thursday night, Mr. Robert, we have a special guest on
That's
the West
right.
Coast Draft Podcast, Mr. Daniel Lisenbee, who is turning in for the best season of Lions football ever? Question mark. Daniel, go ahead and
Oh
take it away.
man.
Introduce yourself to the good folks at home.
Oh, best Lions season in history. I wish, man. I wish. I got a lot of hope this year. This is the first time. Honestly, I've been watching the Lions since full time now since 2011. That was all the way back in like Matt Stafford's third season in the league. Calvin Johnson was still pretty young at the time. This is the first season that I've watched the Detroit Lions where they actually have a complete team. They have a good defense. They have a good special teams, great offense. They don't make a lot of mistakes,
Mhm.
great coaching. Because every time I've watched this team over the years, there's always one or two things. Like for every good thing that team does, there's always something that just holds them back. Like, for example, in the Stafford Megatron era, great passing offense, but too many penalties, terrible defense,
Mhm.
just lack of discipline in general. I'm not even going to talk about the Matt Patricia era, man. I hated with a capital H, that era of football. Matt Patricia just sucked. Like, that man had me hoping for Jim Schwartz to come back as head coach. I'm not even kidding, dude. I remember I went onto the Lions subreddit back in like 2020, and I think we lost on Thanksgiving against the Texans. It was after that game. It was just before Patricia and Quinn got fired. And I remember commenting, like, they make me want Jim Schwartz to come back because Jim Schwartz's teams, they were undisciplined. They were undisciplined as hell, man. Like, they were frustrating, so frustrating to watch, but at least they were fun to watch. They actually were competitive. They won some games, very inconsistent, but, there was actually some hope for those teams and Jim Caldwell teams as well. Kind of boring to watch every now and then. But again, they were competitive, but Patricia just
Mhm.
sucked all of that out, man.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, so I'm Daniel. If you couldn't tell already, I'm a huge Lions fan. Go Detroit. I big Detroit sports fan in general, also into basketball, huge Pistons fan. Red Wings fan. I also like the Edmonton Oilers a lot in hockey. Hopefully Connor McDavid has a good season there, but we're not here to talk hockey, so let's get
This
into
guy
the
likes
football.
his star power
Like
because
star
isn't
power.
there another really good player that you are a big fan of who may have retired recently?
Yes, I'm a big Tom Brady guy. Growing up, like I didn't watch Tom Brady too much, like when I was a kid, but I do remember, like whenever I would need the Patriots to beat someone, like to help the Lions, or just because, like if they
It's
were like
usually a
playing,
safe bet.
pretty much, yeah. Like I remember, like whenever they play like Green Bay or whatever, or like Dallas, whenever Tom Brady and the Patriots would play against them, I'd be like, you know what? They're a great team. Hopefully, I know I can count on them to win those games, and they would do that for me. And Tom Brady would look electric doing so. So I'm sorry to my fellow AFC fans who were tormented by Tom Brady over the years, but I was a beneficiary of his for a
Mhm.
long time. And
Most of the
then,
NFC was,
yeah,
except
Except when you
until
faced
you
him
had
in
to
the Super
play him in
Bowl.
the
very
Super Bowl.
true.
Yeah.
That is very true. But, after that fact, he went to Tampa Bay. And so my brother-in-law grew up a huge Tampa Bay Bucks fan. And I like the Bucks a little bit myself. So I started watching Tom Brady a little bit more. And then once again, I was a beneficiary of his when he would just keep taking out Green Bay, except this time in the playoffs. So, and he's just a great quarterback, man. What can I say? I even got his Bucks jersey sitting in my closet. So, yeah, Rob's right, man. I like the star power.
I am a big star power head, but my thoughts about Tom Brady are very well known on this podcast.
Hey, man, teach their own.
I have a fun question, Matt Patricia question for you. Who is the worst coach of a team that you've been a fan of? Matt Patricia or Jimmy Lake?
Bro, Jimmy Lake at least only lasted a year. So like it has to be
2 years.
I
2 years.
suffered. Doesn't matter, man. I suffered Matt Patricia. I suffered Matt Patricia for like it was like three and a half seasons.
Mhm.
Trying to think. It was in 2018 was his first year. Almost 3 seasons because he got fired midway through 2020. So I still suffered more of Matt Patricia than Jimmy Lake. And of
I'll
course,
take it.
and the thing is too is like after Jimmy Lake, that was I'm pretty sure like the year after Jimmy Lake got fired, right, was when Michael Penix first started on the team. Yeah. So and then UW started rising again. So like all's good right now. UW's crushing it these days. Like I almost expect them to win. I know they're not going to win every game, but I almost expect them to win every single game just from how good they've looked to this point. But the line, like Patricia's different, man, because even after he got fired, like we had to gut our entire team just because of how badly he and Bob Quinn mismanaged it. And I'm so thankful to have Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes managing the team now. But if there's a reason it took them as long as it did to get the Lions to where they are today. So 100% Patricia is so much worse than Jimmy Lake. Had such a worse impact on the team. I think Jimmy Lake did.
I like that answer. I think that's a pretty fair answer. I'd agree with it because I also have, there's some Lions blood in the family of mine as well. So I've had to put up with rants about Fat Patricia, as my father called him.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Lake's also still the best defense coordinator in UW history, and don't forget it. So.
No.
Who is it?
Lambright.
I don't know who that is.
He's the person who 91 defense.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, well, who's the best DBs coach in UW history? How about that?
I'll give that to you.
Yeah, there you go. But anyways, gentlemen, we got some NFL games to talk about here. And you know what? I know on last week's pod we already talked a bit about Lions Packers, but you know what? Since we got a Lions fan on, I think we got to get his thoughts on this game before we move on to the Sunday matchups. So go ahead.
Oh my God, guys, this game was beautiful. I got to witness a childhood fantasy, which is to go into Green Bay and just watch us blow the doors off the Packers, man. I don't care that Aaron Rodgers is gone. I don't care that Jordan Love. Like, honestly, I'm going to be honest, man. Jordan Love is going to be an okay quarterback. Like, I see a bunch of fans, like, trying to cope and be like, yeah, Jordan Love's going to be this trash-ass quarterback. And they're just, like, coping because, they don't want the Packers to get another Hall of Famer. And I'm not worried about that. I don't think he's going to be another Hall of Famer for them. But the man looked okay. Like, he's honestly kind of clutch. He's mobile. And the fact that we got as many sacks on Jordan Love as we did, honestly, is a testament to how good our pass rush has gotten, especially in the last couple of years. Just from Brad Holmes building out the trenches offensively, defensively. So, we got some really good line play on both sides from the team. And we've seen this game to game, especially the last, 10 or so total games dating back to last year. So honestly, overall, man, it was a great game. Like I did get a little bit worried because I know the ref, like they didn't call the delayed game when the clock hit zeros at the end of the third quarter. Then Jordan Love got that deep play. I forget who the receiver was, but he just burned Will Harris on that deep route. And then I was just thinking to myself, okay, here we go again. Refs are trying to give the game to the Packers because it's in Lambeau and the Packers are this national brand, whatever. But no, man, the Lions came through. I mean, I feel this is kind of what I mean is like even Stafford era teams, like they would, granted, the Packers from that era were a lot better than they are now, but Stafford era teams would not come away with a win. Under those circumstances, they would have thrown that lead away with the lack of a running game, with the Packers probably keying in on Megatron or Golden Tate or whoever else was on our receiving core at the time. And then we just wouldn't have done anything. But that's kind of what I meant when I was saying before. It's like the team has such a nice balance now. The play calling is elite 9 times out of 10. Consistent running game, great O-line. Jared Goff doesn't make mistakes for the most part. Amon-Ra is sure-handed. Laporta, I love that, man. Great rookie tight end. I'm glad we drafted him. He's looking great, man. Really good game against the Packers. And I mean, I'm excited, man. Honestly, dude, like as much as I hate the Packers, like obviously they're my least favorite team, but I got to give them credit where it's due. Like I think, like I said, I think Jordan Love's going to be okay. I think they need to give the ball to Aaron. Like, honestly, we kind of got lucky that Aaron Jones did not get the ball as much as he did. I don't know what the hell Matt LaFleur was thinking. Like, we have a good run defense. I think we could have limited Aaron Jones, but he is so much better than AJ Dillon. Like, my guy, Matt LaFleur.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
What are you doing? Why are you not giving Aaron Jones the ball? I don't care if our run defense is elite. You give your best weapons the ball, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think LaFleur kind of helped us out a little bit there, and I think some Packers fans will agree with me on that. But I think to conclude that, I think honestly, it just proves the Lions are the class of the division. I think Packers are the clear number 2, and we'll just get to sit on our collective thrones watching as the Bears and Vikings suffer.
Yeah, until they get Caleb Williams, one of them.
I don't know, man. Maybe.
It's a problem.
I don't know how
that's a 2024 problem. Don't worry about that right now. That's a 2024 problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. For now, I was hoping the Bears would go 0 for this year, but we'll get to that game later on.
We'll get to that game later on for sure. But no, great insight. And when you get to hear from the fan of the team, it's always great insight. I know there's a certain game that we're going to talk about later, coming up in about 5 games, that I'm not really stoked about talking about, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Speaking of bridges, let's go across to the London Bridge, where we had the Falcons going to or not going to Jacksonville, going to London to take on the Jaguars, basically London's home team there. Jaguars smoked them. Jaguars they kind of took him behind the woodshed. This one wasn't even close. Falcons offense, major question
Ritter's
marks.
bad.
Ritter's bad, man. It's bad. It's over. Put in Heineke. Heineke's the backup. They got a solid backup. Put in Heineke. You got to put in Heineke. Bijan continues to carry the ball really well. 105 yards in this game. Shoot, even Jonnu Smith, 95 receiving yards for Atlanta, but it's just not enough. It's not enough. Also,
I don't get why they can't use Kyle Pitts.
Trade Kyle Pitts. If you're not going to use him, trade him.
You
could probably get a lot for him. You could probably get a second, maybe even a first from the right team.
This is one I picked. I got the Jags here -3.
Mm-hmm.
They look. That was a good bounce back game for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but you know what the biggest story about this game was?
What's that?
It was the Toy Story. It was the Toy Story broadcast.
Yes.
I caught only about 30 minutes of it because we're cursed in the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
It was horrible. Whose idea was that?
It was awful.
So
it was so
weird.
bad. It didn't make any sense. It was broken. It didn't make any sense. Like, if it worked fine, cool. It would have been great. It didn't work. Like, it was too ambitious. It was too ambitious.
It looked like it just looked like technology from like 10 years ago. It didn't, and then like the claw was always moving the ball. And then I did like Slinky Dog being the sticks.
Slinky being the sticks.
That was genius. Yeah. But like them just always talking about, oh, it's so fun here in Andy's room. And they keep saying they're in Andy's room. Really had the A-listers there with Booker McFarland on the call.
I forget. I always forget about Booger. I can't believe they've got him on like the NFL draft cast. Like, he knows anything.
Where the hell did he come from? I really don't know where the hell he came from and how he stuck around. How did he not get fired from the ESPN purge?
I don't know, man. They fired Todd McShay, but they didn't fire Booger McFarland. It's wild. Any thoughts on this classic Atlanta Jacksonville Toy Story matchup, Daniel?
I mean, honestly, the Toy Story thing, I mentioned this before, but it looked kind of weird. Yeah. But honestly, I will say it did make like Desmond Ritter's interceptions. Like, I saw the highlights of that, like from the Toy Story. It looks so funny, dude. Like, all the lowlights from the game just look hilarious with the Toy Story graphics. So that's a takeaway I have from that game. But honestly, I don't know, man. I don't have not too much to say about that game in general. Jacksonville is a decent team. Atlanta's an okay team. They're both kind of mid. It just is what it is. Jacksonville's good in the UK because they go every single year.
Yeah,
they're staying. Yeah. Well, the best thing about the gimmick broadcast, the Nickelodeon broadcast and the Toy Story broadcasts is it enhances the memes. So
Oh yeah.
that's not what he wanted to cook from last year. And then like my favorite one that I saw was like, imagine getting juked out in Toy Story, and like someone got juked by
Yeah,
I
by
think it was by
Bijan.
Bijan. Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It
It was
enhances the memes.
Bijan's gonna look like a menace with the Toy Story graphics, man.
My favorite was there's a Falcons linebacker at the kickoff. It was like, I can't remember what number it was. I want to say it was 54, but like they didn't have him on the roster. So the back of his jersey just said unknown. And it was like, wow, you really troubleshooted this, guys. You
They
really
really
made sure
mailed
this
it
is
in,
gonna look great. But yeah, I mean, not much to say. I mean,
So
like Daniel
bad.
said, a couple
The
mid teams.
Nickelodeon broadcasts are way better.
Oh, the Nickelodeon broadcasts are sweet. Honestly, last year's Christmas broadcast with the Rams and Broncos was awesome. That was an amazing broadcast.
Yeah, how they like took Baker Mayfield out of the game with the giant grain. Oh man.
That was
But I'll always
amazing.
forget that's not what he wanted.
That's not what he wanted to cook. Oh, that was great. Unlike our next game here, Miami Buffalo, which was a slaughterfest, but not the
my
type of
God.
slaughterfest that either of us predicted.
And we both picked up Dolphins in this one, and we were very confident about that. And wow.
Yeah.
For
the first quarter, it looked
Before the
promising.
game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, for the first quarter, it looked promising. It did not end promising. Yeah, Miami at first it was going good, and then all of a sudden they stopped scoring, and Buffalo just kept laying it on. Like it wasn't even difficult. It was like literally marching up and down the field at will. It looked like Miami's defense was suspect,
And
obviously.
it looked like the biggest issue that's been going on for years in Miami, and that they still haven't been able to get right. The offensive line is definitely the biggest part of their offense. Now, Shanahan's scheme can very well cover up those holes, but when you have a really deep pass rush like the Bills that are too deep everywhere, I'd say, they're gonna I think pressure is the best way to stop any passing attack, and I think they laid out the blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like people have been really underrating this Bills team ever since they lost to New York in the first week. Like, because the thing is, like, I watched that week 1 game live, right? And I know Josh Allen from past games, he doesn't really do well against the Jets secondary. Like, I don't think he's really had a good game against the Jets secondary for the last couple of years. So I'm not too surprised he didn't look so great there. Like, I feel like Salah's just kind of, Sauce Gardner and all them kind of have his number. But I don't understand, man. Like, going into the year, I feel like it's the first offseason where people didn't really talk about the Bills too much. Like, people just kind of, with all their playoff losses, that they were going to fall off a cliff. But that's kind of, I ended up actually picking them to win the Super Bowl this year, during my offseason picks. And the reason I say that is part of that is because there's not a lot of discourse on them. But I don't see where they got worse. Like, I mean, to be honest with you guys, I had them beating Miami. I thought it was going to be closer. I thought Dolphins were going to put up a fight, but I did have Buffalo winning this game because I figured, they still got a great defense. Josh Allen's still an MVP candidate. Stephon Diggs is still elite. They have a better running game now. It's the best running attack I've seen them have. I mean,
they've needed a running game for a long time.
Yeah, like James Cook beats out, who was it? Devin Singletary,
yeah.
Last couple of years, like, wasn't Zach Moss on the team for a little bit too?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, like the running game now is so much better. So, like, I don't know, man. I think low-key, even Bills fans themselves, from what I've seen, have kind of underrated their team after their first loss. It's like, guys, like, go back and watch your team the last couple of years. Like, y'all are going to be contenders for a while. Josh Allen is going to be in his prime for a while. You guys are okay. Your team is great. And you have Miami's number.
Right. That is true. They've played really well against Miami. Really all the other than when they went down to South Beach in September last year and struggled.
When was Ken Dorsey
the Ken Dorsey game.
Yeah, Ken Dorsey.
That's the one. Yeah. But yeah, no, very, very well said. Very well said. Yeah, the Bills continue to be a juggernaut. The Bills probably the best team in the AFC right now, honestly. I feel like That's obviously a reactionary take. They do have a little bit of a trade-off on the injury front, though, with their vets, because they're getting Von Miller back, it sounds like, soon, but
They
they also
lost
did
Trey
lose
White.
Tre'Davious
That's
White,
brutal.
for the
That's
whole year.
brutal for them. And then another injury for him, man. He's so unlucky because that was a non-contact.
Yeah.
Can't get rid of turf in Buffalo, though.
No, you cannot. Although you can build a dome. So
Why the hell do they play outdoors? That one's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, why does Chicago play outdoors? Why does Buffalo play outdoors?
was Cleveland play outdoors?
I
Oh,
feel
it's
like
because they're
compared
too
to
poor to
Soldier
build a
Field,
dome
though,
there.
all these
I
other
think, well,
stadiums are killing it.
AFC North,
AFC North games should be outdoors,
they
I
should be
think.
outdoors. I think there's enough history in NFC North where, half the teams have played indoors for quite some time. I know the Bud Grant Vikings. Bud Grant's like, no, we're playing outside. But only two of them do play inside. But like AFC North, that's outside football.
Mhm. Yeah, which is funny because it's like obviously the Ravens were the old Browns, so the Ravens and Bengals don't really feel like historical teams, I feel like. But when I think like Steelers and Browns, like, oh yeah, those games
That's
need to be
outdoor
played,
football.
and they need to be played on grass, and the jerseys need to be just absolutely filthy by the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll talk about the Browns, and we'll talk about the Steelers. Shout out to Pittsburgh for being the only reason that I'm still watching this season, by the way. I sent you that tweet earlier.
That was incredible. What
but
did Darnell write? Or not Darnell write?
it was
Kendrick
Green.
Kendrick Green. What was it? What did it say again? It was so funny.
Oh man, let me pull it up. There's a great tweet. Hold on.
It was so good.
Boot up the good old X machine here. So let me see. So this is what I sent. Oh yeah, this was before the game. This guy, Steelers reporter Andrew Filipponi. Steelers should set sack records and what the heck? Hold on. We're back. Steelers should set sack records in Houston. Today, Texans are starting a practice squad left tackle, Kendrick Green, former Steeler, at left guard, a rookie 6th-round pick at center, plus TJ Watt's entire family is at the game for JJ Watt Ring of Honor ceremony. Hold up. Can you guys hear that?
No, we can't, but transcribe
man.
it for us, please.
Jeez Louise, life's tough, man. It's better with the audio because you can actually hear
it. It's really good. You gotta look it up.
Oh,
it's incredible.
It's amazing. Jeez Louise, life's tough, man. We'll talk about the Steelers game though. Speaking of inept offenses, though, actually I wouldn't say inept offenses, just inept
they
teams,
probably hit the over in that game.
Oh, they definitely did. Inept organizations, Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. Bears opening up a big
Bears
lead,
were up big
scores,
and choked.
And they made my morning.
They made
somehow made Kareem Jackson look good.
Dude, the Bears would have 2 wins by now if they didn't blow this game. They would be out of the Caleb sweepstakes.
Justin's looking better.
Yeah, he's not been bad. Yeah, the past 2 games, he's actually been really good. I don't think people want to talk about that. If they still have the first pick, they'll still trade him. But I'd trade him. If I was super QB needy, I'd trade for Justin.
I'd take him.
Yeah, I think there's something there. There's something there.
Oh, yeah.
I am buying it, boys.
I don't think there's too much to talk about. Both teams look
Broncos. Bad. Yeah, Broncos are still bad. Broncos are still bad. Don't let beating the Bears convince you they're good. However,
that's
they play the Jets this week.
It wasn't even a Russ bailout though. I feel like that pick 6 was the bailout.
Oh yeah, not even. It was the fumble 6.
Fumble six. I don't think there's too much to talk about that. Two bad teams.
2 bad teams. One was bad for one half, and the other was bad for the other half. Let's see. We are looking now. Speaking of a classic little AFC North showdown, we got Baltimore going to Cleveland. The Cleveland
Browns versus the Browns.
The Browns versus the Browns. Well, this is the Browns team quarterbacked by preseason sensation Dorian Thompson-Robinson going up against a banged up Ravens team where they were still suffering injuries all over the place. If you watch this game, you would not be able to tell. They freaking steamrolled the Browns. Which is so funny that the
What
Bengals
are the Browns? What are the Browns right now? I just don't know.
they go from holding the Bengals to 3 to basically holding the Steelers offense to 1 score, but literally turnovering themselves into a loss there. Then holding the Titans to 3 and then getting held to 3 themselves against Baltimore. They are a weird anomaly team with a really, really freaking good defense. Look at the stat lines here. It's not like the Ravens offense dominated this game. It's just like Browns offense just wasn't able to do anything really.
There's
a lot
so
of short
much
fields.
There's only so much a defense can do when
Yep.
your offense gives you nothing.
Exactly.
One thing though, Lamar's doing good this year. Todd Monken could be a head coach this time next year with how shallow the bench there is in the NFL. I think some teams are going to be looking at taking him as head coach, and I don't blame him because the Ravens offense looks good.
I'm the Bears. I try to get Monken and Caleb make kind of the duo there.
That could be fun right there.
That'd be very fun.
What about I was texting you this earlier though, but what about Caleb going back home
to Washington?
Yeah.
They got but the thing is they already got the enemy there. They do have a new owner there, but
I'm not a Bieniemy believer. I think they can do better. I think head coaches will be lying. Remember how many coaches wanted to come out of retirement to coach Trevor Lawrence? Like Bill Cowher wanted to coach again, and he's been out of the league for like 15 years.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Daniel, sorry, we kind of skipped over your thoughts on Denver, Chicago. Any thoughts on that game or Baltimore, Cleveland?
No, all good. No, I was just saying, like the Denver-Chicago game, I know Justin Fields had a good performance, and we'll probably dive in a little bit more as we get to the game that happened earlier today, but I'm not buying the Justin Fields hype yet.
Uh-huh.
I think that's fair.
He played a terrible Broncos team. Like, I get that the Bears haven't really had good quarterbacks, but that Broncos team is abysmal. I have never seen a worse defense in my life, man. Vance Joseph, he's a terrible. I don't know why they rehired him.
I can't believe he hasn't gotten tarmacked yet.
Right? I don't know why they rehired him. Like, I grew up a little bit in Colorado, right? So I have some familiarity with like Broncos discourse every now and again. And man, like those fans are getting shafted. Like I remember when I was growing up, like, Peyton Manning was kind of leading that team and they were actually a respected organization. And to turn into this. And the worst part is Russell Wilson's actually good. Like he played.
Yeah, he hasn't been the problem at all.
He's not the problem. He's not been Chicago. He's not been what they traded for, but he's not the problem anymore.
Yeah. And to see that performance be, I guess, not wasted against Chicago, but wasted beforehand is kind of sad to see. Yeah. I guess for Baltimore, Cleveland, don't have much else to add other than I've just found out Jim Schwartz was the Browns defensive coordinator. So it's kind of interesting.
He's been a good DC.
He's been doing a good job.
Great DC.
He's a great DC and he fits that defense very well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Anytime you give him a great D line like what the Browns have, he's going to do something with it. It's
good
just
4-3 defensive coordinator.
Level, like the Ravens probably didn't. I didn't really watch the game, but I'd assume that Lamar did a good job kind of getting past that first level of defense. Once you do that, I guess a Jim Schwartz defense, it's pretty easily exposed. I'm not going to lie. But if his D line is rolling, you can't stop it. Like when his system works, it works.
Yeah, for sure. Well said. Well said. No one has experience with Jim Schwartz as much as you do.
I'll never forget. Was it Harbaugh or was it?
Yeah,
it was Harbaugh. Yep. No, it was Harbaugh.
I remember that.
Two spazzes going after each other. That was awesome. Harbaugh was being a total dick that whole season, anyways.
Yeah, rookie head coach came in and yeah.
Well, and Harbaugh's just one of the biggest instigators out there who cries foul all the time. One interesting thing about the Broncos and Russell Wilson. Did anyone catch that Marshawn Lynch interview on Club Shay Shay this week?
They said Aaron Rodgers was the best quarterback he's ever played with. I did see that.
Oh yeah, back in college. No, it was about him blocking Russ's number or something like that.
Really? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Well, it wasn't. So what was funny is he didn't have Russ's number. Then it turns out it was blocked or something. But they did not get along well because he was trying to help out Russell, and Russell wasn't being a real person with him. He was, just like being a robot, being brand guy when he's like, hey, I got your back. If you're doing bad, I hope you got mine. If I'm doing bad, he's like, and he didn't like hearing that, he didn't like hearing that he wasn't doing good or something. And it was really interesting. I totally, it's like a 5-minute clip. Totally recommend checking out Marshawn talking about Russ.
Sure.
Dang.
Now, speaking of depressing and dumpster fires,
The floor is yours, my friend.
introducing the 2023 Cincinnati Bengals. God. Sometimes there just are no words. This was maybe the worst Bengals game I've ever watched in my entire life. Since the Browns game that I watched 3 weeks ago, that was also really
What,
freaking
dude?
bad.
Oh my God, man.
I just
I think I jinxed the
positives.
team.
Positives, Jamar Chase is still good. Negatives, literally everything else. Everything else. The defense sucked. Could not tackle Derrick Henry. You could cut off Derrick Henry's legs and the defense couldn't have tackled him the other day. Logan Wilson could have walked onto the field with a freaking machete. Want to stop Derrick Henry on freaking Sunday. Offense, play calling, horrible. Joe Burrow can't do anything right now because he looks like he forgot how to throw with his injury. The offensive line couldn't block Jeffrey Simmons. Don't get me wrong, Titans got a good defensive front, but come on, man, it was the Titans. Let's be real. We're not playing the 85 Bears here. They certainly made them look like that though. The receivers other than Jamar Chase don't know how to catch a freaking football anymore, apparently. I don't know what happened to T. Higgins. He looks like a bottom 5. He went from a top 15 receiver in the NFL. He probably has 5 catches this whole season versus like 8 or 9 drops. I don't know. This is a contract year for him. He looks like he doesn't even want to be out there. It's ridiculous. Shout out Jamar Chase. You're still good. You're the only reason I'm not regretting spending $300 on Bengals Cardinals tickets this weekend. I want to get your autograph live. If I see you there, you're still cool. Me and Jamar are still cool. Everyone else, I don't think it's fair to put it all on Burrow actually because he's hurt. Right?
Fuck you. You cool.
You're cool. And fuck you. I'm out. And yeah, Zach Taylor's the final fuck you. I'm out. I want to make this clear. I'm not a Zach Taylor hater, Taylor hater, whatever you want to call it. I think he's a good players coach. I think he's a good head man. I think he's good, plays a CEO role, the team well. He's abysmal plays caller. He needs to give up play calling. He's abysmal play designer. He needs to bring in a real OC. Sorry, Brian Callahan. It's just sad. It's just really sad because their first 4 games did not look hard on paper and they came out of it 1-3. They got Arizona this week. We'll see. They got Seattle the week after.
A pesky Arizona team.
They got Seattle the week after. They get a bye. That bye can't come soon enough, man. I'm convinced we're going to be going in 1-5. I mean, the funny and part of me deep down knows this team has so much fucking talent. We could easily beat Arizona and we could easily beat Seattle, but I am convinced we won't because there's just a rot with this team right now. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But, maybe we'll go in and we'll beat Arizona by 21. And then all of a sudden I'll be right back on this pod this time next week and being like, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back.
Is it time to sit Joe Burrow into the bye?
No, because Jake Browning's still the backup. If AJ McCarron was the backup, I'd say yes. They did bring back AJ McCarron, which is
not for winning. It's for healing.
Just for healing. I don't know. Because apparently he came out of the Tennessee game fully healthy, which is impressive considering he took 3 sacks and like 15 quarterback hits. He came out apparently saying it's the best he's felt since the initial injury. So maybe he's coming back. Maybe he's coming back. We'll see. We'll see. I'll give you a live report from Arizona, see if he looks like he's freaking back. But I don't think he will.
I feel like at this point, though, isn't it kind of late to sit Joe Burrow? Because
at this point, you're not going to get a lot out of sitting.
Yeah, because you guys everyone's already
until the bye.
Yeah, but I mean, even that's like 2 weeks. I mean, shoot. I mean, if they go into the bye 1-5, it's like your season's over. If they could at least, if you can get to 2-4, I mean, 2-4 is still not good. If they can get to 3-3, all of a sudden it's like, okay, we can salvage this maybe. But
I don't think he's going to be healthy all year, so I don't think it'll matter.
No, exactly. And that's the thing. At this point, it's like maybe it just wasn't our year. Maybe the injury just ultimately is what killed the season. And that happens, you know. I mean, you got to start thinking about 2024. DJ Reader's a free agent. Need to bring him back. Cheeto Uzi is a free agent. Don't really need to bring him back as DJ Turner has been a lone bright spot. Let's see. Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins are both free agents.
Keeping any?
I don't know if I want to bring back either of them right now. Boyd, if Boyd came back at a veteran discount, you know, he's already starting to get up there. If he came back at a discount, I'd take him back. I don't know if I want T right now, man. He's playing like shit. He's playing horrible. Honestly, I would take literally all of T's targets and just force feed Jamar Chase. I don't care if Jamar's double covered. He will do more with his targets than he is double covered than T will when he's wide fucking open.
How's Irv Smith doing?
Oh, he's been hurt pretty much the whole year. Hasn't done.
What about Drew Sample?
He's Drew Sample.
I saw an interesting mock today. If the draft was today, going 8th overall was Roma Dunze to the Bengals.
Oh, Roma Dunze. I would have predicted Brock Bowers. Interesting.
He was gone by then at 8.
Oh, he's gone by then. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll see. If we go into the bye 1-5, at that point, I'm like, all right, Burrow, you're sitting for the season. We're tanking. We're seeing maybe we can trade T halfway through the year. Get like a second for him, maybe.
Trade him to the Chiefs.
No, we're not trading we're trading to an NFC team. We'll trade him to like the Panthers. That's a good one. Then what we'll do? Tank, get the first overall pick. And then hold a little auction between the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals to see who's going to bite and give us 2 first-round picks for number 1 overall. And then we're going to get Marvin Harrison and Brock Bowers.
They're going to give you more than that.
Yeah, no. So that's
I think I jinxed the Bengals going into this year. I had them winning the
Everyone
AFC.
did. I had them winning the Super Bowl, man. Everyone had them winning something, and they suck. And granted, we're 4 games into the season, you know. If they get to 3-3 and they get a bye to get a little bit more healthy, all of a sudden I'm going to be on the train like, dude, we could make this 14-3 pretty soon because that's who I am, because I'm a stupid fucking fan. But yeah, that's right. 14-3 Cincinnati Bengals still winning the Super Bowl. Who dey? Let's move on to the not the Angels.
I have one thing to say about this game.
One more.
Derrick Henry is ageless.
Yeah.
And he's never, you know, people would never realize how fast he is, but he's pretty damn fast still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He doesn't look like it, but he is. All right.
Moving on to the Rams Colts game before I give myself an aneurysm.
Rams, big lead. Colts, like we said, and we've been saying this all since week 1. That's a feisty team. That's a fun team. They play a fun defense, but they blew it in the end. I'm loving how both of the former Eagle assistants are doing this year. They're coaching pretty poorly talented teams with a lot of feistiness. It's fun.
Yep.
Got to see vintage Stafford performance at the end of that game as well. Tie game, get the ball in overtime.
Drive down.
Puka Nacua for the winner.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Cup's coming back this week. They got an offense that's got Puka and Cup now. That could be fun. They're kind of redundant roles, but man. And you still got Tutu Atwell as the speed guy. That could be a fun offense. He's good now, man. He's good now.
So is every receiver ever that has played for Sean McVay.
Guess what? He still plays for Sean McVay.
He weighs 160 pounds.
Yeah, and he's still a playmaker, man. He gets
They wanted
open.
D. Eskridge though. Isn't that funny how things work out?
Yeah, when they should have won it off in Ross St. Brown, as we all know now. Pretty much, I think every receiver drafted before Amon-Ra St. Brown, other than Jamar Chase, I would
Busted.
argue. No, not busted. No, because I mean that includes people like Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle and guys who obviously weren't busts. But I just mean I might take Amon-Ra St. Brown over Jalen Waddle. I might take him over Devontae Smith, not over Jamar Chase, and I'm a little biased.
I wouldn't take either.
I wouldn't take him over Jamar Chase either.
No.
I would take all three of those over Amon-Ra. Sorry, Daniel.
No worries. I'd
think about it.
I'd probably think about Amon-Ra versus Devontae Smith, but I'd probably take Jalen Waddle over Amon-Ra. I really like Jalen Waddle.
It depends. I've always been a big
It's both
Devontae
Miami.
Smith head for years, and that is well known between Beau and I. I was a Devontae Smith head back in like 2019.
That's true.
He would have been first receiver off the board that year. But let's get to an absolute snooze fest of a game.
Yeah, fine. The
Bucks,
only game I got
Saints.
right this week was
I am done. I am done
the
betting on the
Saints
Saints.
suck, man. Even and
They're
Derek Carr even played
horrible.
in this game. He even played. It was bad.
Oh my god, I got that one wrong. Oh my gosh.
Tampa looks fun. Tampa's a fun team this year. Again,
They're-
not like they're feisty.
Dave Canales.
And you
Fun
know what?
defense.
I think
Baker's fun.
they got a little bit of the Baker mentality. It's kind of
Mhm.
carrying over to the entire offense. And that defense was never bad. That defense was always solid, even last year.
Oh yeah, they lost some pieces. They added some pieces. I don't know why we chose Quandre Diggs and Julian Love over Ryan Neal. It's even not just for money wise, but also talent.
Mhm.
I think they lost some pieces in the secondary, but yeah, you said it very well that they have that Baker Mayfield feistiness, and I think that's pretty easy to do when Tom Brady walks out on you.
Mhm.
Mike Evans
Yeah.
is still Mike Evans. I think they're looking like the class of the South. But
Yeah.
we messed the South up because I was Saints, and who are you on?
I think I was on Falcons.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, Baker's the best QB in the NFC South.
Oh yeah, dude, man, Baker's man.
He's
The funny
fun.
thing is, Baker outside of like 2 seasons has always been a pretty solid quarterback.
Mhm. He was
His
he the problem in
2021
Cleveland?
season. His 2021 season in Cleveland was bad.
He was playing hurt the whole time.
He was playing hurt the whole time. And then his 2022 season when he was in Carolina was bad. Once he went to the LA, or once he went to the Rams and was like with an actual coach and not Matt Rule, all of a sudden you start to see a little bit of spunk there, a little bit of a bit of a playmaker.
I've always
and
liked
everyone
Baker.
everyone kind of just wrote him off as soon as they went to Tampa. But he
Dave
didn't.
Canales
right
is a miracle worker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's the
Dave
common
Canales is a
thread. Dave
miracle worker.
Canales, Geno Smith, and
He's going to be
Baker
head coach
Mayfield
next
now.
year at this rate.
Yeah. You very well could be.
I wonder if he goes to like a team that is he good at developing normal quarterbacks or young quarterbacks? That's yet to be seen.
Yeah,
But he's been very good with the reclamation projects,
Yeah. It's just funny because
Where-
Baker's not old by any means. He's in like year 6. He's not like ancient.
He was old coming out of college though.
True. That's true. He's probably around.
He's
12.
30.
Is he 30? Really?
I think he might be. No, he
Let's
can't
see
be.
it.
He can't be 30. Maybe 28.
We're doing I'm gonna predict 28. Yeah. 1995. Yeah, 28. He's 28.
I think Geno's 31.
That makes sense. Actually,
Geno was drafted in 2013.
30. He is 32, turning
Ah.
33 next week, actually.
Dang. Okay, I was
Happy
off.
birthday to Geno Smith, turning 30. Oh, it's on Tuesday. That's on our college football episode. We have to remember to wish Geno Smith a
Okay.
happy 33rd
Oh,
birthday.
you know who could be a fun one to where Dave Canales could go to?
Where's that?
What about New England with Mac?
Are they going to fire Belichick, or is he going to retire?
I don't know.
It might be.
Something's gotta
He's going to
change
be
up
too.
there.
He's going to be too prideful to retire. So
Yeah,
it's
he'll
gonna be
never
about
retire.
Kraft. It's going to be about
Maybe
Kraft pulling the plug.
what about LA and
Ooh, and the
Herbert.
Chargers. Although
That
again,
could be
that's not a
fun.
reclamation project. That's like trying to
No.
be competent.
Are there many reclamation projects out there right now? I don't know.
Justin Fields.
Chicago.
If the
Justin
Bears
Fields.
don't if the Bears
the
aren't
top
able to
pick.
get the top pick,
They take Drake May anyways. There's a lot of, I mean, they're going to take, there's a lot of exciting quarterbacks coming out this year.
yeah.
COVID eligibility is up for a lot of them. It's going to be fun.
Trying to think if there's any like obvious reclamation projects out there right now.
It'll become obvious in
The Saints.
Whoever they pick up, it'll become obvious in quarterback and carousel.
Saints is my new
Deshaun
Dave
Watson in
Collins team.
Cleveland. Ooh, there we
We'll
go.
see if they fire
Bingo.
Stefanski.
Bingo.
Though. They might just promote Jim Schwartz, honestly.
Oh gosh.
No, how
He
Daniel
fits
would feel
Cleveland.
about that. He does fit Cleveland.
No, Jim Schwartz got promoted, man. I'd take it. That means that's like maybe the first ever former Lions head coach to get another head coaching job.
Really? That's a fun
Yeah.
fact. Didn't know that.
That can't be
And
true.
if,
That can't be
if
true.
Ben Johnson gets a head coaching job, he'll be the first ever former Lions coordinator to get a head coaching job on a different team.
Really? That's actually stunning. What if him and
That
Jim
can't
Bob
be
Cooter-
true.
That's how
No
bad our
way.
franchise is.
JBC.
Jim Bob Cooter and Ben Johnson both get one the same offseason.
That man had
Oh,
a good
yeah.
like 6 games and then just tanked.
JBC is my favorite name in the NFL.
That's fair.
What
Hey, what
about
about Daryl Bevel was a former Lions OC turned Lions
Vikings.
interim coach. No, he was Lions. He was the Lions.
Yeah, Daryl
Daryl
Bevel.
Bevel.
Yeah.
He was a former
okay.
Lions
Okay.
OC, turned Lions interim coach, turned Jaguars OC, turned Jaguars interim coach. I think that should count.
I don't want to count interims.
It's the
No, they don't.
I don't
count.
count.
So Jim Bob
That's the
Cooter,
most urban.
if he
yeah.
gets a head coach job, I hope he can get General Booty on his team.
General Booty, that'd be pretty.
That's bingo card right there. I'm still looking for the bell, but that's a bell right there.
That's a bell right there. Speaking of bell, ring the bell. Philadelphia got to undefeated with a win over the Washington
Commanders.
Commies.
Gave them all they could handle.
Yep, this is those classic division games, man. Classic division games. Gosh, man, what happened to Riverboat Ron? Why didn't he go for 2 at the end of regulation?
He should. That's hostile environment. Go for 2. Honestly, in my opinion, if you're in a position to win it going for 2 on the last play of the game, you always do it.
Yeah. Why are you playing for OT when your defense has already allowed 31 points? Like, that's ridiculous. If this game was like 13-10, okay, maybe. No, not a 31 game.
It's not just, it's not like you were at home. You were away. The playbook that almost everyone goes by, especially someone who goes by Riverboat Ron, is hostile environment. Go for 2.
Riverboat Ron's just past it, guys.
Yeah,
I love him. I love him, but he's
still coaching, honestly. Like in a head coaching position.
I think he probably should have resigned. I was really scared when he was coaching through cancer during COVID. I was like, holy shit, man, you got to take some time off, because Chuck Pagano did.
Yep.
I hope they let him resign.
Yeah, he probably will.
I hope they let him resign. I hope he doesn't get fired mid-season. I could see it happening. I think he put himself in nowhere for success by putting Sam Howell on such a pedestal this offseason. Everyone saw what was coming.
Yeah. Well, Sam Howell hasn't even really been the problem, honestly. He's been fine.
He's not going to make
the offensive line is horrible.
He's not going to make a average team into a playoff team, though.
No, that's true. That's definitely true. But did you see tonight he took 5 sacks
so bad,
and his sacks per game average actually dropped?
Oh gosh,
that's so bad. What are they doing? Washington really needs to get that off. Shoot, because let's see.
Rename it the Hogs, and those linemen will come. Appease the football gods. They got to change the name. They got to do it.
Yeah.
And not back to Redskins or anything. Like Red Hogs or just Hogs. It should be Hogs.
Yeah, but man,
that would be so cool if it was Hogs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just say Philly. I mean, barely escaping here, but I mean, that's what you got to do. Those division games, like we said last week, those division games are never easy. Unless you're the Browns playing the Bengals. Sorry, that'll be the last one. Yeah, I mean, shoot. I mean, it looks bad because everyone's like, "Oh, Washington sucks," and you're at home. But remember,
Divisional games are
Philly
tough.
lost this game. Philly lost their home game to Washington last year. So yeah. Um, Speaking of losing, we got two losing franchises: the Vikings and the Panthers. How's about that for a segue? I'm on fire tonight.
Ooh, nice one.
This is an NFC North team here. So how about we let Daniel lead with this one?
Oh man, I was so excited when I saw Kirko throw that pick six on the first drive. I was like, wow, the Panthers are actually going to get an upset today. They're going to make my morning. And then they didn't make my morning. That was very sad. At least the Bears choked, but I mean, I don't know. The Vikings just they gave me hope, and then they had to go and win the game and hold that last possession against Bryce Young, and they were able to kneel it out in the end. But I don't know, man. I will tell you what though. I know you guys mentioned you had the Saints and the Falcons coming in as a class of the NFC South, right? I had Carolina.
Ooh,
doing it in a pretty unconventional way. So I had them starting the year 0-6 and then finishing 8-9.
Hey, they're on pace, man.
There you go. As Bryce Young kind of gets more acclimated to the league, start getting a few easier opponents, and yeah, I figured the NFC South is a bit of a crapshoot as it is. Why not the Panthers? They got the rookie QB. They got a pretty good defense. Now, I didn't think their O-line was going to be so bad. So I might be questioning myself a little bit, but like you said, I'm still on pace. They could still go 0-6 and then I guess finish the year 8-3 and win the division. Yeah, other than that, the Vikings remind me of the Lions from 10 years ago. Star talent, but they're frustrating. They turn the ball over all the time. They won't live up to their potential. They will finish.
that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Like, honestly, if you guys have some time, go watch 2013 Detroit Lions highlights. You can easily compare that team to this year's Minnesota Vikings, 100%. Like, there are so many parallels between the two teams. So when I watch this Vikings team, I think to myself, they'll probably go 6-11, 7-10, and the Vikings will live in continual purgatory like they do every single year. I remember I was actually telling somebody about this. Like, the Vikings, they go in like 4-year cycles. Like, once every 4 years, they come out of nowhere. They win like 13, 14 games. Vikings fans have hope that they can actually do something, but they never actually do anything because it's the Vikings. And then the rest of the time, they finish with like 7 or 8 wins. They're frustrating. They play poor football, but they also get a crappy draft pick. And
they always finish right. They always have like the 12th pick, I feel like.
Pretty much. Yeah, they can't really kickstart the rebuilds the way that like truly, truly decrepit franchises can. So the Vikings
mediocrity.
They've just kind of always been that average team, and I got not much else to say about that game besides the Panthers. Hopefully they prove me right, and the Vikings are the Vikings.
Yeah, there you go. Panthers are the only winless team. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The Panthers kind of remind me of that 2019 Dolphins started winless. Good defense, figured it out going forward, and then kind of get out of that hole. Don't have a super high draft pick. I think that's what I see happening with them. Well, I think it'll click soon enough for Bryce.
They don't have a super high draft pick anyways because they traded it to Chicago, so they're not.
So they don't have anything to. So yeah, it's not like they have anything they're tanking for. Yeah.
Gosh, Marvin Harrison with Bryce.
That's a good defense, man. They got pieces.
Yep.
Bunch of them are hurt though.
Yeah, right. That's true. They'll get there. I still think Carolina's a decent team. Actually, I remember
they got Ejiafero. He can scheme it up like no one. Like he might be one of the top young DCs. He could get a job next year. Honestly,
he could. Speaking of top young DCs, one of last year's top young DCs, D'Amico Ryans, taking on the Pittsburgh. Man, I'm on fire with these segues tonight. Taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Matt Canada offense. I
feel good about this one. I picked Houston to cover.
You did.
And they won outright. And now I won outright well.
So if their offensive line was healthy, I would have picked Houston too. I know it's so easy to say in hindsight. I said this on the show. You can go back and watch it. I thought if Houston's line was healthy, I think they can beat Pittsburgh. They were not. So I picked I picked Pittsburgh, and it didn't matter because Matt Canada leads an offense that could not coach its way out of a paper bag. They are the only offense in the league that makes me not want to rip my eyes out when I think about the Bengals offense. If the Bengals 2023 season is like hell, the Steelers 2023 season is your roommate in hell that at least makes you laugh every now and again, and it doesn't feel quite as bad. That's the Steelers
Inferno.
It's
Bing. Or
Jeff.
not Tedford. God damn it!
Tyrod,
It's Troy Taylor's.
Troy Taylor's.
How did I mess that up so bad?
Yeah, that was an old white guy with the last name.
Old white, lower level California iconic head coaches.
Yep. So yeah, there you go. That's my thoughts on the Steelers team this year. Thank you for being so bad. It makes me feel a little bit less bad about the Bengals being so bad. Love you, Pittsburgh. It's been great.
I see you liked my tweet, which is something you rarely do. Of here's how to fix. There's only one man who can fix the Steelers offense, and his name is John Donovan.
John Donovan. Love that, man. I love that.
He's got to get the axe soon. He's bad. He doesn't know how to scheme an offense.
Matt Canada is the best OC in the entire NFL. What are you guys talking about?
I agree. I think they should sign him to a lifetime
best
contract.
Offense I've ever seen in my life, man.
Did you see how good
Kenny Pickett? Did you see that 4th and 1 call in that game? Electric, man. Kenny Pickett completely messed up that play. Like when you run like those kinds of routes, right, that take a while to develop on a 4th and 1, dude. That's what you need to be doing. Matt Canada made the right call. Kenny Pickett's just not paying attention, and his whole line's failing him, man. Matt Canada is literally the smartest OC I've ever seen, and Mike Tomlin is doing the whole team a great service by keeping him there and being loyal to his staff.
Love it. I love it. I agree, Daniel. Sign him to a lifetime contract.
CJ is legit though. CJ is really legit.
Okay, yeah. Let's not talk about the Steelers too much here. Let's give the flowers to the Texans here. They're fun, man. That's a legit offense. I know we talked about their OC last week, about Slovic.
I already forgot his name.
I forgot his first name, but I remember his last name was Slovic. He's doing a good job there with a rookie quarterback, a beat up O-line, receivers that people weren't really well regarded going into the year. Nico Collins and Tank Dell look.
Well, we were high on Tank. We were high on
Tank, but yeah, Nico Collins is legit in Houston right now.
Yeah, that one's surprising. It is a fun team. CJ is playing lights out, man. He's a fun quarterback to watch. That's why he was my QB1.
Yeah, every team in the NFC South right now, or AFC South, is 2-2 right now. So
I'm happy for Houston, guys. They're looking nice. They've had a lot of years of suffering, and they got a nice team, man. Those Texans fans, they got something to be excited about.
Yeah, and guess what? They still have a couple of years worth of Cleveland Browns draft picks coming their way too.
There you go.
They still have more Deshaun Watson picks.
Yep. Next year's. I think after next year is when the Deshaun Watson bits stop.
How did we only get 2 years of Russ picks, man?
When Houston got 3 years of Cleveland? No idea. They don't have their own first pick though next year because of the CJ Stroud trade, or I guess Will Anderson trade.
Oh yeah.
So they're only going to be getting Cleveland's first.
He's looked good too.
Looked good. Yeah.
And like I said, I think it was the right choice. And I think it was going to be a super high draft pick. And I was always taunting Cardinal fans who were like, we're getting Caleb and Marvin Harrison Jr. Well, you idiots are playing yourself good enough to get out of both of them. Nice job.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh man, I was a couple off for this. Good segue. But speaking of a different idiot, Josh McDaniels' team, as well as Brandon Staley's team.
We got two idiots banging. It's Brandon Staley versus Josh McDaniels.
Idiot bowl.
Literally the idiot bowl. Gosh, how did the Chargers almost losing this game would have been the idiot bowl moment of the century. They almost did. They almost screwed it up. They almost screwed up a 6 sacks performance by Khalil Mack against a backup quarterback. He
wanted revenge. He wanted some revenge.
And yet Brandon Staley almost screwed it up. I mean, I don't even know what to say with this game. The Chargers should have won this game by 30. They almost lost because Brandon Staley's a dumbass.
Honestly, they should elevate Kellen Moore.
They should, honestly.
Give them a chance. See what's there. See what's there.
Yeah. I have no idea what's wrong with the Chargers, man. They're
Everyone
2-2.
wants to see. Everyone wants to see what's there with Kellen Moore. Everyone wants to see it. Herbert they're actually scheming an offense well for him, unlike Mike Lombardi. It's really not that hard, man. Deep routes.
Yeah. Yeah, Chargers on a 2-game win streak now. So maybe buried them too early. Who'd they play week 1? I can't remember.
That'd be a pretty underwhelming 2-game win streak, though.
Yeah.
Dolphins. Honestly, I mean, shoot. I mean,
they almost lost.
That Dolphins game was really fun. And I think that Titans game, they blew it, right?
Yeah,
they blew the Titans game. They almost blew the Vikings game.
And almost blew the Raiders game. They could easily be 0-4. And
they got a tough.
But
do you see their next 2 opponents now?
No,
it was Chiefs and Cowboys.
Oh, that's tough.
Watch them go 1-1, man. That'd be the most Charger thing ever.
Yeah, Cowboys, Chiefs.
Show us. Just show us.
Like watch them somehow beat Dallas, and they get a big lead against Kansas City, and then Patrick Mahomes comes back and wins the game for the Chiefs.
It'd be the ultimate Chiefs thing.
30 down or something ridiculous like that.
It would happen. I mean, he's done it before.
Happen.
Remember week 1, 22, or week 3, 2020? The old Tyrod Taylor chest. Didn't Tyrod Taylor take a snap this weekend? He's with some team I did not expect.
He's with the Giants, wasn't he?
He took a snap.
Yeah, he's on the Giants now, I think.
He took a snap. I think they yoinked Danny Dimes out in like the last drive because he kept getting hit. But Tyrod Taylor took a snap.
Good for him.
Tyrod Taylor is the new Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, honestly. Man, the Bengals bring him.
Tyrod Taylor never got his chance. He was good with the Bills.
Yeah, he was good with the Bills, actually.
He never got. I wish a team gave him a chance. Teams were fighting over each other to pay Mike Glennon like a ton of money. And he never was good at anything other than having a big neck. But Tyrod Taylor never got a chance. That one, I think you could point to that one being maybe some bias, because Mike Glennon has been chosen over good black quarterbacks like his whole life. They chose Mike Glennon over Russell Wilson at NC State.
It's true. That is true. So weird, though. Mike Glennon. He's out of the league now. At least Tyrod's still in the league. Pretty sure.
Or someone's going to pay him $20 million a year this offseason, I feel like. He's gonna be like a coach.
Yep,
soon.
He's a free agent. He will be a coach soon, probably.
Ed, get way overpaid. What? He's got dirt on people, man.
Definitely. He's got something, that's for sure. We're already over an hour in, guys, and we haven't even gotten to the week 5 picks yet. So
we'll go through picks quick. We'll go through
picks quick. Okay. New England at Dallas, just absolute slaughterfest here. Dallas looked like a team that had been memed on for losing to the Cardinals all week.
They were pissed.
New England looks like a completely incompetent team. They also lost Christian Gonzalez and Matt Judon in this game. Bad weekend for New England. Dallas right back to looking strong, and they got San Francisco next week, so that'll be a big game.
That defense and special teams unit scores so much that people don't talk about the mediocrity of Dak.
Yeah, but it works at the end of the day.
It works. It
system
just
quarterback,
works.
or not even a system quarterback, honestly, because it's not the offensive system that's winning them games. It's
defense and special teams.
Defense and special teams. He's a team manager. How about that? That's the way to put it. He's a team manager, game manager. Yeah, not team manager, game manager.
I've been saying this. I don't know if I said this last week, but Shadur is going to be a Cowboy.
Yeah, no, we talked.
Plays the same as Dak. I saw a great comparison that I can't that I will stick with going forward. But Shadur is Mac Jones. Very good processor. Dirty player, and gets the ball out real quick. He reminds me of 2020 Mac Jones.
Interesting. He's more athletic than Mac Jones.
Oh yeah. That's the one differentiator. But eye poke.
The eye poke, yeah, true.
I like that comp a lot.
No,
But Shadur's gonna. Yeah, I don't know if I told this to you, Daniel, but absolute nightmare scenario. Shadur is going to be a Cowboy in 2 years, and it's going to be insufferable.
even if they draft him to be the
I see,
backup,
man.
they like draft him in the 4th round. It's just going to be like
Shadur is probably going day 1 or 2. I think he's
probably.
day 2.
Okay, how about they draft him as a backup on like the back end of the 2nd round?
Oh yeah. Well, he's going to be Dak's heir. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Speaking of air, Arizona goes to San
Oh my
Francisco.
gosh. Wow.
Beautiful segue.
uh,
Feisty.
feisty Arizona Cardinals team.
It's closer score than that game was.
No, much closer. No, I think this was one score. No, it wasn't one
Niners
score, but it
were
was-
always in control,
Mhm.
but Cards were just pecking away. Admirable performance. Loving seeing Josh Dobbs doing well. You got a real chance. You see that fight between James Conner and Talanoa Hufanga at the end?
I didn't notice that.
He's had it come. Talanoa Hufanga has had it coming for a long time. He plays well through the whistle.
There you go. Well, my hometown Cardinals, of course, not to be truffled with. However, San Francisco is just dominating right now.
Class of the NFC at this point, as
Class of
much
the
as I
NFC,
hate it.
class of the league at this point.
The only
is
thing that'll
Christian
hold him back
McCaffrey a
is
legit-
quarterback.
Yeah, but is Christian McCaffrey a legit MVP this year, you think?
If he stays
I know
healthy.
it's too early to say he'll win it because it's a running back and it's only week 4, but
He needs to
he's
stay
fine.
healthy. When's the last time he's shown that?
True. But he's been the MVP of the league through 4 weeks, I think.
Mhm. I think that's fair.
So yeah. Daniel, what are your thoughts on giving an MVP to a running back?
No, I mean, I got nothing else to add. I agree. I think
Yeah.
as long as McCaffrey stays healthy, I think he could easily win MVP. He's doing great for them, man.
Yep. Agreed. Don't have a segue for this one. I'm not even gonna try to come up with
The
this
ref ball
one.
game.
I wasn't even gonna say the ref ball game. I was gonna say it was a Taylor Swift auction.
God, dude.
Auction's not the right word. That's terrible. Taylor Swift expose experience. The Taylor Swift experience that had a football game going on around it.
Yeah, exactly. Yo, did you guys see the NFL? I think it's the NFL Twitter now has Taylor Swift as their banner.
Yep.
Oh my!
It's genius marketing.
It is genius marketing, and I'm just like,
It's
why
too much,
though?
man. It's just too much. Even Travis said it was too much on his podcast. It was funny.
like, it's annoying.
It's just annoying at this point. It's too much. I'm sorry. Actually, hold on. Let's see if we could do the same experiment we did last week. If we click on the Kansas City Chiefs, yeah, first picture is Taylor Swift. There's a picture of Taylor Swift before there's a picture of Patrick Mahomes on the main ESPN feed for the Kansas City Chiefs. Hold on. Let's do a
Granted,
count
also
here.
ESPN.
That's true. That is true. But let's do a count here. Taylor Swift. So 1 for Taylor Swift, 1 for Patrick Mahomes, 2 for Taylor Swift, 3 for Taylor Swift. None of the above, but not a Swift. So 4 for Taylor Swift, 5 for Taylor Swift,
And Pat McAfee.
and Pat McAfee. Or 5 for Taylor Swift, 6 for Taylor
Honestly-
Swift. There, we got 6 pictures of Taylor Swift before we got 2 of Patrick Mahomes.
Did I send you that video of like the Swifty jersey, the Swelsey jersey, and they're in Carolina? Did I send you that one?
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't.
Oh
You
yeah,
sent
he's
that
like
to me.
we're in Carolina. Why is it, what's going on here?
Yeah, it's too much, man. It's too much.
Let's
But
talk
anyways,
about the
talking
game.
about the game.
Let's
Talking
talk
about the game. How about Zach Wilson doing
Looked
his
good.
best Patrick Mahomes? He looked good, man. He
He
looks
looked
like the
like
player we
BYU.
thought he'd be. He
He
looks
looked
like BYU.
He needs confidence. That's the only thing he needs.
He looks so defeated on that. And that's the thing. I was finally starting to see it with Zach Wilson. And then he just looks so defeated on the sideline after. Like you could read his lips. And he was saying like that he's the reason he lost this game.
He
No,
totally
he's not,
was.
Zach.
He totally was. Yeah, no, dropping that snap wasn't even a bad snap.
was-
That's a shit. It wasn't a
Yeah.
bad snap. That one's pretty bad. But he played pretty damn well.
He
He
played
is
the best
definitely
game
the
of his
reason they
career.
lost. Oh yeah,
I mean, if
but
you want to look at it directly, I mean, the fact that the defense spotted the Chiefs 20 points doesn't
mhm.
help either. Um,
I
yeah.
hope I see more of this going forward. I've always liked Zach Wilson as a player. I've liked his skill set. I
Mhm.
I made a very bold and probably very drunken predictions like Zach Wilson's gonna have a better career than Trevor Lawrence. Whoops on that one,
That didn't work out.
that's a bad one. But hey, shoot or shoot, you know.
Shoot or shoot, man. No, I don't know. I felt bad for Zach seeing it because he
Oh yeah.
played the best game of his career, and then he just looked so defeated on the sideline to the point it's like, oh no, is he gonna go right back to being timid, unconfident Zach Wilson that sucks? Like I was like, this could be a turning point for your career, young man. And now I'm like, nah, I think he might be right back to it mentally. It's kind of sad actually. He's he looks so out of it on the sideline. I felt bad. I felt bad for Zach Wilson. Which I didn't think I'd be here saying that when in last with
Solid
all the
getting the rare. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was saying when all the MILF stuff came out last offseason,
Hmm.
I never thought there'd be a moment where I felt bad for Zach Wilson, but I felt bad for Zach Wilson on Sunday night.
Sala had the rare coaches an unsportsmanlike conduct called on the coach. That's a
And
rare
he
one.
earned it. And he earned it, man.
Here's my take on the Sauce stuff. You're a player that toes the line. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt on those. It's why Clay Matthews always got those roughing the passers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a hold.
It
And
was.
not gonna lie, I was quite happy to see that. Sauce has just been he needs to be humbled a little bit, and he's on a Jets team that won like 6 or 7 games last year, and isn't looking that hot this year. He's talking so much, he needs to be humbled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's the cornerback's job is to talk.
It
I'm not going
is.
to get mad at a cornerback
Good
for
cornerbacks
talking.
have swagger.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
cornerbacks need to have the confidence to an incomplete sign when like it was because of a drop or like something that totally they got burnt and like get lucky and they drop it and then do like a incomplete. I love those. That's my favorite.
Yep. Chiefs won. Taylor Swift is happy. The Chiefs are 2-0 as Swifties, as the NFL Twitter bio now says. And if they win the Super Bowl, I got a conspiracy theory already cooking. Not that I ever don't have one. Let's be real. Last matchup of the week, also in New York, Seattle going to the New York Football Giants and making them look like whatever the opposite of a giant is, a dwarf. The New York Football Dwarfs is what they looked like on Monday night, not to be confused with the Elves, which reside in Cleveland. Go ahead, Rob. I'll let you lead with this one.
Devin Witherspoon, hello world. He balled out. He had a great game, 2 sacks and a pick six. He looked like the player we were hoping for. He lays the boom and he's like 5'11". There was that one tackle on that running back. Oh my God, he totally led with his head. It's like, oh, that's a paralyzer hit right there. But the rest of it was pretty damn clean. We haven't had a cornerback like this since the LOB days with that kind of confidence, that kind of swagger, that kind of hitting. Uh, defense looked great. 11 sacks, tied a franchise record. But, part of this game leaves me a little unsatisfied. The Giants are a total mess. That O-line is just awful. They couldn't get anything going. Daniel Jones is back to where he was before last year. That defense isn't much better. And, I think there's been like maybe one game and a half that the Seahawks offense has been clicking and looking good in rhythm. And this wasn't one of those. It got 21 points to the board. Probably could have gotten some more points, but it just didn't look great. Having trouble keeping a run game going, having trouble using all your receivers, especially JSN. He's not a screen receiver. he's got to put DK and Lockett deep and have him work in the middle. That's where he's going to make his money. But I understand it's kind of hard to work the middle with now down to one of your original 5 starters on O-line. So a big tip of the hat to Andy Dickerson. He's done incredible O-line coaching with being able to have 2 rookies and 2 pretty meh tackles in Evan Brown. He's done a fantastic job there. More Charbonnet. Noah Fant, great game. Ken Walker, he was robbed of a pretty long touchdown, but I think it was down. But Seahawks are 3-1, but we really haven't been tested, to be honest. Bad Panthers team, bad Giants team. Got smoked by the Rams and probably played the Giants or Lions when they were too confident. And the only game the offenses looked really good was when Gino, who always has the Lions number, diced them up again. There's still more questions out there for the Seahawks for me. Poor Jamal, though, came back, played 9 snaps. He said, but Pete says he's ready to go after bye. That's my thoughts on that game.
There you go. Well, there's another DB for the soon-to-be 14-3 Cincinnati Bengals to be torching. Not gonna happen.
Who do you put on Jamar? I think you put
no
Tariq.
one. It doesn't matter because no one can cover him, but that's okay because you put all 3 of them on it. You can show to T and he'll drop it, so it's okay.
Who would you put on Jamar though? I'd say Tariq.
Probably Tariq.
I think just for the long speed. I think it could be interesting playing Spoon a physical DB against Chase a physical receiver, but also can't forget that Chase is also super fast.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see how they do the chess match. Going in, I would say the advantage Bengals, but now who the hell knows, right?
I don't know. I'm not super high on the Seahawks still. I think there's still a lot of questions to be answered.
Yeah, well, one of us is 3-1, the other's 1-3. So one of us clearly has more questions than the other. At least 2 more questions.
Let's talk about one last game though from this week. I guess we'll do it, but not this week, but this week. Well, tonight's game, Bears football team.
I want to lead. I want to let Daniel lead with this one because I know he had some thoughts on it.
Oh, let's hear him.
Well, first off, I hate the commies so much. I was watching this game, hoping to get some memes for the night, hoping to see the Bears continue on their quest to go 0-17. And of course, it just didn't happen, man. They win 40-20. But you know what? I'm still not buying Justin Fields, man. Like everyone's gonna keep saying for the rest of the week that Justin Fields, he's found his game. You know, DJ Moore went off for like 200 yards. Like, bro, you played a trash Denver team and still lost to them. By the way, that's Justin Fields' first good game, right? Trash Denver team. Washington, I don't care the commies started 2-0, friends. Like that was the most fool's gold 2-0 team I think I've ever seen. I think
frauds.
2-0 team that I'd seen in a while. The fact that Washington's lost 3 straight, that doesn't surprise me. Like, Commanders are not a good team. And also, like, I mean, rest in peace, Dick Butkus, you know, like with all that news going around, you know, maybe the Bears players show up a little bit more for, you know, the particular occasion. A lot of the fans are putting pressure on the team to win a game, you know, before, or either win a game or essentially fire the coaching staff. I heard there might have been rumors going around that if the Bears lost tonight, that Eberflus could have gotten fired from the team. So I think for this game in particular, I'm not super surprised the Bears won because there's just a lot at stake for them and there's a lot going on around the organization and around the players. And it helps that the Commanders just aren't a good team. So I'm still not buying the Justin Fields. If he gets cooked by a Joe Barry-led Packers defense, bro, I'm not buying. Unless if he can do this against like the majority of the teams he plays against, then I might consider it. But I'm not buying any stock on Justin Fields yet. I think he comes back pretty soon. That's just my 2 cents. But honestly, I mean, Bears won. You know what? Fair play. Bears fans have had a lot of suffering in the last year. But, you know, I've definitely been there before. So, you know, it's good to see, for at least for the fan base, so I can at least be, you know, happy for them. They finally got something good to celebrate. So fair play to the fan base and fair play to the team to get some confidence.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Well said. So I had this one, plus 6.5 Bears. So that is another easy one. I warned you about that when I told you 6 was too much for the commies, and that's another one. And there's one other one that we forgot to mention from last week, and it was Vikings -4, which I also covered on that one. So I think that gave me a 3 lead, but now it's 4, right?
Yeah, now it's 4. Now it's 4.
All right. And speaking of my 4-game lead, let's get to the rest of this week's picks.
Yeah. So Jacksonville going to London, actually staying in London, Buffalo going to London, taking on the Bills. Bills are listed as a home team in this game, but it doesn't matter. They're both in London. Bills, or I should say Jags, are actually getting 5.5 points here. Red hot Bills team against the Jags team that probably still does have a few questions. I'll go out and rise ahead and say I'm gonna pick the Bills in this game, especially with getting Von Miller back. Losing Trey White's gonna hurt for sure, but getting the pass rush, a little bit of pass rush juice back, and there isn't an offense in the league hotter than Buffalo right now. So yeah, I feel fairly confident that Bills will cover that 5.5 here.
I gotta agree with you there. Bills last week, they shut down a high-flying offense and they put up plenty of their own. I think the Dolphins are a much better team than the Jags. Give me the Bills.
Yep. Daniel, want to hop in? Yeah, Daniel, more than welcome.
Hop in the action.
I gotta go the other way here, boys. I'm going Jags because I've been upping the Bills. I still think they're going to win the Super Bowl. So this isn't me saying the Bills are trash or anything, but
no, that's exactly what you're saying. I get it.
Yeah. No, but I say Jags because they've been in London already for a week, and adjusting to that time difference is going to be huge.
Right.
Like the Jags are multiple steps ahead.
Isn't it only 3 hours though from New York to London?
I think it's
5
hours.
Yeah, it's 5 hours.
Oh, that's no joke.
5 hours from New York to London. Trying to think, East Coast time, they'd be playing at 11:30. No, yeah, 9:30. Okay, time's literally right there.
Yeah.
So they're playing at 9:30. So that's an early game, but like I said, Jags have already been there for a week. They're going to be a lot more acclimated. And the Jags are still a decent team. I don't think they're going to be elite or anything, but they can still pull off a win every now and then against a team like Buffalo. So why not? I take the Jags.
Okay. I like it. I actually like that. All right. So we'll throw Daniel in just for this week, obviously. There you go. Houston going to Atlanta. Houston getting 2 points despite recent trends with both these teams.
That's an NFC home game, buddy.
No. I was gonna let you pick first. I was just
you can do an intro. You can do an intro.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. I was just gonna say Houston playing really well right now. Atlanta not so much. They're on opposite trends right now. Houston on a 2-game win streak. Atlanta on a 2-game losing streak. However, Falcons are getting favored by 2 points here. So, Mr. Jokinen, who do you got in this one?
I bet them on last week and they did me well. Give me Houston with the points.
Yep. Daniel?
I'm going to take the Falcons at home.
Okay. I'm actually going Houston in the points too here. I'm just going to go with recent trends and how these teams have been playing. Atlanta's offense is really, really bad, and Houston's defense has come to play the past couple of weeks. So,
Nico Ryans is a good coach.
Yeah. Carolina going to Detroit. We're gonna let Daniel lead with this one. Actually, Carolina, the Kitty Cat Bowl. Kitty Cat Bowl. Carolina going to Detroit. Blue Kitty Cat Bowl actually, because they have basically the same colors too.
The Detroit Lions favored by 10 points in a game, dude.
Will the Detroit Lions keep the Panthers winless? The only winless team.
Oh man. So honestly, man, it's gonna be a close game. Honestly, I feel like Panthers will come to play. I think Panthers have some good pieces on defense. I don't know, man. Some people forget like the Lions are good, but they're a
Mhm.
young team still. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've been riding a lot of highs this year. I don't think we're gonna lose the game, but I feel like it's gonna be kind of a similar vibe to the Seahawks game earlier this year, where
Mm-hmm.
the players come back home. They got like this really good win against like a team on the road, and again, it's still a young team, and I think they gotta check themselves a little bit, but I still think we're gonna win. But I think Carolina covers the spread.
Mm-hmm. Rob, you get to lead off because still NFC.
10 is a whole lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
In the NFL, I am not taking 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Panthers.
Yep. I'm with you there. I'm taking the Panthers too. I did a quick search here. I was looking it up, see how they've been doing. Like obviously they're winless, but I mean, this game was closer than 14-point spread indicates. Lost by 3, lost by 10, lost by 8. They haven't been getting like blown out by teams. So 10's too much, I think. Now granted, I think the Lions are probably the best team they've played so far, but
My heart says go for Lions, but my head says 10's too much.
Yeah. Titans going to the Colts. Titans coming off a big win over Cincinnati. I don't want to talk about it. Colts coming off a little bit of a letdown loss. Came back all the way back against the Rams, and then just to still end up in the loss column afterwards. But here we go. I'm kind of this one's tough. This one's really tough. I think these are both about the same caliber of teams at the end of the day. I am going to go with the Titans. -2. -2 is not too crazy of a spread. I mean, it's less than a field goal. Again, I think they're very similar caliber teams, but I just think the Titans have a little bit more of the been there element to them. The Colts haven't been there yet. They're still building. They're still learning. They still got a rookie quarterback in Anthony Richardson, a rookie head coach in Shane Steichen. Whereas the Titans are kind of returning a lot of their pieces. So, and as I learned last week, this is still a talented Titans team that you can't exactly write off right away. So, yeah, give me the Titans -2 here.
Go for it, Daniel.
I'm gonna take Indy at home. I
Okay.
think both these teams are honestly pretty even. I mean, different
Mhm.
trajectories, but pretty even teams. I'll take the home team. I
Mhm.
think Indy rises back. I think just Tennessee comes back to earth a little bit.
It's fair. It's fair. I like that. I like that.
I agree with a lot. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I agree
You
with a lot.
changing your pick?
I haven't picked yet.
Oh, sorry. That's right. You hadn't picked yet. My bad. My bad.
I am agreeing with a lot what you're saying, Beau. I think rookie quarterback against Mike Vrabel is tough. He's gonna give a lot of different looks that AR might not be ready for, coming from the biggest AR head maybe in the planet. And then Derrick Henry versus a young Colts defense. That's no easy task to tackle, both literally and figuratively.
Mhm.
So I like Titans -2 here.
There you go. Giants going to the Miami Dolphins. Giants getting 11 points in this game. I know we said 10-point
Man.
spreads, but 11 points is insane for an interconference rivalry where they are not rivalry, interconference matchup where they don't play a whole lot. Man, 11 points is a lot of freaking points. And guess what? I'm still taking the Dolphins. I have zero faith in this Giants team right now. I'll probably get burned on this. I'll probably be at -5 after this, but I really think the Dolphins are just going to absolutely boat race the Giants. If the Seahawks can win by 21 over the Giants, I think the Dolphins can too.
I'm not being an asshole and copying all your picks, but even though Saquon's coming back, that is a horrible Giants team, horrible offensive line against a team that likes to send a lot of dudes. And it's in Miami and it's going to be hot. So give me Dolphins -11. I don't care if that's a lot. Seahawks with a bad offense took it to them. Yeah, Dolphins are good and Giants are really, really bad. I don't think they get Andrew Thomas back yet, but they do get Saquon. If Giants play ball control, sure, but I don't know if they can control anything.
Can't even control their freaking bowels sometimes, I feel like. Can't control what comes out of their mouths, right, Evan Neal? Not a good look. It's fast.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Even if he was kind of right. But it's just because
He
you're
was
right doesn't mean you should say
absolutely
it.
right. He is
Yeah, but
absolutely right.
Still
But
doesn't mean you
as a
say it.
professional, sometimes you don't have to say it. You should just not say things. Like
Mhm.
Jerry Dipido. That's not something you say, fucking loser.
Yeah,
You've seen my
exactly.
rage tweets about that.
I did. Trust me, I saw plenty about them. I saw plenty of Mariners tweets this past week. Daniel, go
Daniel,
ahead,
what's
man.
your take on -11?
Oh man. I mean, I think like -10 for Detroit is a bit of an exaggeration because Carolina competes. They're young, they got good pieces. I'm gonna put this on record here. So before the season started, when I was doing my own predictions, I had the Giants going 4-13.
Mhm.
And that's not capping. I was so just low on that team. Like I watched a little bit of the Giants last year, and I kind of figured they were kind of carried by Dable and his scheme, and a lot of their players overachieved. And now we're kind of seeing like what they
Mm-hmm.
kind of regressed to the mean. 100% take the points with Miami. They're going to win by significant amount. Giants are terrible, and Miami's great. They're an elite team.
You know what I said about I've mostly been joking about it, but I think I may have predicted the future. Is that what if Dable is Matt Nagy 2.0, holding that offense together with the smoking years, mirror one winning coach of the year, and then the clock striking midnight.
It's a good shot, yeah.
Yeah. Good
Oh
call.
gosh. Oh
Is
gosh.
this the ugliest game of the weekend?
Oh,
Saints
gosh.
Patriots.
1000%.
Is
Hit the
anyone
under.
is anyone looking forward to Saints Patriots in all honesty?
Oh gosh. It's not
course I
even
am.
bad, so bad that'll be entertaining.
I'll let Daniel hasn't led one of these yet. I'll let Daniel lead. Oh, wait, I guess he led the Lions. Go ahead and lead this one too, as
Yeah,
a
go for
former
it.
Tom Brady stan.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
man.
go.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. This game's gonna suck. I'm not tuning in. This is gonna be an ugly, like 13-10 kind of game. I don't know, man. I just give me the Patriots because they're at home.
I agree. I'm going to take the Patriots as well because they're at home,
Damn
and
it.
also because I do still believe in that defense.
I think the Patriots will be able to score on defense.
Yeah.
This Saints team's bad. They were really bad. Awful team. And I said I was not going to bet for them anymore, and I'm sticking to that until they prove me wrong.
Good call. Good call. Moving on here, Ravens Steelers. I'll lead this one for obvious reasons. It's two teams that I have very strong feelings towards. These are teams I fucking despise. I'll just be honest with you. I was trying to think of a nice thing to say about them, but nah, I hate them both. I hate them both. I'm rooting for the Meteor in this game. However, do have to pick who I think will win, and that one's not too hard. I think the Ravens will win. They just went on. They got all three of their road division games done by week 5, and they're going to win
nice.
all of them. Like, lucky them, honestly. It's big time, but yeah, they're going to go into Pittsburgh. They're going to win. They're going to win by more than 4. I don't know if the Steelers will score 4 points, to be quite honest with you. The Browns didn't. So, yeah, give me Ravens -4 here. Feel pretty easy about it.
Go for it, Daniel.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. And the reason I say that, Ravens are going on the road. Mike Tomlin's teams, man, no matter how bad Matt Canada is, they just have this uncanny ability to just hover around the 500 mark across an entire year. I feel like the Steelers, especially the last 2 years, like they'll win the games you least expect them to win, and they'll lose the games you least expect them to lose. And I think the Ravens are a good team, don't get me wrong, but I also think they have their own little kinks to work out. I think in a few of their games, their injuries could catch up to them. And I don't know. I think going into it's called Acrisure now. I'm still gonna call it Heinz Field anyway.
Mhm.
But I think any team that goes into Heinz Field, I mean, we kind of saw this with the Browns earlier in the year. Like it's a hard place to play no matter what. Like the Steelers are not a team that's just gonna die. You know,
except
I
when they
think
play the
I think
49ers and the Texans. The games where they actually did just die.
fair enough.
But you're right. You're right. Across the season, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like 49ers are just a juggernaut, and I think Houston. I think the Steelers didn't take that game too seriously going in, and I think CJ Stroud's a stud. So I'm not too surprised about the Texans, but I think that at the very least they're going to show up for this game. I'll take Pittsburgh, man.
Okay. Okay.
While I am a big Monken head, I'm going to agree with Daniel Lisenbee right here. I'm taking Steelers with 4 points. AFC North football, divisional game, and Mike Tomlin does not lose 2 games in a row. Giving the Steelers to cover.
There's our first
Not
disagreement.
Not win. Second, if you count Thursday night.
Yeah, no, our first disagreement since it's on the pod so far, on tonight's pod. There you go. All right. Well, there we go. We got a little disagreement. Gosh,
Little action
does that mean I
right
actually
there.
have to root for the Ravens this week?
Yes.
Damn it. Damn it. That's the worst thing you could have done for me. All right, let's keep moving here. Philadelphia
Ooh, wow.
going. This is kind of a heavyweight matchup because guess what? LA's got Cooper Kupp. Philly going to LA to take on Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, and Puka Nakua and Cooper Kupp and the LA Rams. Rams getting 4.5 at home. Who are we thinking here, Mr. Jokinen? Actually, do I give this one to Daniel because it's a Stafford game?
Oh, yeah. Give that to Danny.
Let's give it to Daniel.
Boys, I love Stafford. I really do. I'm taking Philly. I think Philly, they looked a little rough to start, but there's a reason they're 4-0. They still got contending pieces. They're still kind of working out a few things. I think going west isn't as tough as going east. And I think, like, Stafford, man, I worry about his health. I worry about his O-line. Because of that, I worry about his turnover ratio going into this game. Philly's got some ball hawks on their defense. They got some really, really good D linemen. Like, Philly's arguably the best team if you're just talking about the trenches. Really, really good linemen on both sides. And I think they got a good matchup here with the Rams, man. I take Philly. I take Philly.
I will agree with that. I think that LA, other than in their losses, faced good D lines. I think in their wins they did not.
Yep.
I think that's how you slow down this very, kind of very reminiscent of Bill Walsh West Coast offense that they're doing this year in LA. That O-line is not very good. You just got to get there quick enough. And the Eagles have the best D-line in the in the game, I'd say. At least if you're counting depth. So 4.5 is a bit, is a little bit, but I think the Rams are playing a bit higher than people think. I'm not sold on their weapons other than Kupp. I'm still not even sold on Puka. And that defense is green. It's very green. So give me 4.5 for the Eagles.
Going into those explanations, actually, I was going to pick the Rams to cover here.
Lame.
But I actually am shifting. I'm going to go with the Eagles. At the end of the day, you're right, though. I mean, I think where you have seen the Rams struggle against Cincinnati, against San Francisco, it was when the defensive line for the other team could just take over and dominate what is a not good Rams offensive line right now. Getting Cooper Kupp back will help because they're going to be able to do a little bit more quick stuff, a little bit more behind the line of scrimmage stuff, even that will help him out big time for sure. But I'm still going to go Philly just because that defensive line is going to eat. Stafford might get sacked 10 times in this game. So, yeah. Moving on.
Main event. You take this one.
No, it's all right. It's an NFC team hosting.
It's the Bengals. It's the Bengals. No. It's all good. Take the Bengals.
Fine.
I honestly, this was a closer line than I thought it would be.
I'm going to be at this game, of course. Bengals suck. It actually makes me sad to talk about them. You can probably hear it in my voice. Just even thinking, I'm defeated. I'm defeated. If you saw me when I watch Bengals games, I get heated. I get fiery. I get fired up. If you watch me in the second half of the Tennessee game, you would think that's not Beau. It's a shell of Beau. Because I was just standing there. Or sitting there, actually. I wasn't standing. I only stand when things are going good. I was just sitting there, just blank face. Like, oh, look. Another first down. Oh, look. Another sack. Okay. Talking about this Bengals game makes me depressed. That being said, we're gonna fucking kill the Cardinals. We're gonna win by 3. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? We're winning. I'm just kidding. Actually, kidding and not kidding. We will win by 3. We will cover because we're gonna win by 4. There you go. We're gonna win like 17-13.
3 is way too low. Give me Bengals with 3.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I'm with you guys. Bengals.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Rebound game. Rebound game.
They need it. They need it. They have usually been pretty good. Joe Burrow in interconference games has dominated actually throughout his career, so that helps. And he's running at practice now, which is good. These are the little things I cherish. Running at practice. Clips of my quarterback jogging at practice is all I need. Anyways, Jets, Broncos. Oh, there you go. There's 2 fan bases who are allowed to be depressed right alongside me. Jets going to Denver, getting 1.5. The Zach Wilson versus Russell Wilson, the Wilson Bowl. Guess I'm leading with this one. I think Jets win straight up, honestly. I think the Broncos are just completely cooked right now, to be quite honest with you. So the fact that Jets are even getting points in this game, actually, I enjoy. It's gonna be an ugly game. It's not gonna hit the over. Just fair warning, it won't hit the over. But the Jets, Zach Wilson showed me just enough on Sunday night to make me think this can go back to being the Jets team last year that was able to win some games, even though he wasn't playing that well. So, yeah, give me the Jets. Go ahead, Daniel. Looks like Rob's thinking.
Homecoming game for Zach.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Homecoming game for Zach Wilson. I really liked what I saw from him last game. I like 1.5 there. Give me the Jets. Just end the suffering.
Just end the suffering. All right, go ahead, Daniel.
Oh, man. You know, I gloat about my wins, and I also admit my losses. And my loss here is that I had the Broncos going to the divisional round this year. I was very, very high on the Broncos rebounding, and that doesn't look like it's going to come anywhere near close to happening. Just wanted to throw that out. Anyway, I'm taking the Jets.
There you go. You got a Jets sweep. Are we all picking the Jets straight up too?
Yeah.
I want to take them straight up because I like points.
Okay. No, I'm just saying.
I take them. I take them straight up though.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All
right. The one thing though, last year was the Sauce Gardner PI game.
That's true. But it was also the Breece Hall long touchdown run before he tore his ACL game. Breece Hall wants revenge. Apparently, this is he's finally like totally off training wheels. Like they're saying he's fully cleared.
He's looked solid, you know.
Yeah, he had that one really good touchdown run against, or not, it wasn't a touchdown run. Would have been a touchdown run against Kansas City if he didn't run into his own guy, tackle his own blocker. So,
oh yeah.
Here we go. Chiefs going to Minnesota.
Here's 2 interesting ones. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. So Minnesota hosting Kansas City, getting 4 points at home. Yeah, an NFC team. Who you got, Mr. Jokinen?
Can you check the score of the Chiefs Jets game for me? I just want to see that.
It was
Let me see their
23-20.
scores.
It was 23-20.
Mm,
So we got 1 point loss, 8-point
mm.
win, 31-point win against the Bears, 3-point win.
Jet is going off. Give me Vikings with 4. They did me well last week.
Interesting. Go ahead, Daniel.
Vikings aren't winning this game, man. I'm sorry. And I
But
look
they're getting
forward-
4. They're getting 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm counting on.
I don't know, man. I will say, it'll be nice to see the Vikings go 1-4, and then Vikings fans have to keep justifying how they're still better than the Bears. So that'll be entertaining.
Nice.
But I'm taking. Yeah, I'll take Kansas City to win, but yeah, I think Minnesota makes it close. Kansas City's going to win by like 2 or 3.
All right, we got another disagreement. I think Kansas City wins by like 10 plus. So
I
there you
hope
go.
so. I hope.
I don't hope so. Are you kidding me? I hate the Chiefs, but
And I hate
no,
the Vikings.
That's true. No, I don't think Taylor's going to be in attendance for this one, but
No.
you just know the NFL is still going to be giving the Chiefs a lot of calls.
I think they're
And
distracted
also-
as hell. I think they're
they are distracted as hell, but the Vikings aren't going to be the team to take them down. They're just not. Their defense
They're not-
isn't there
they're
right
not
now.
good enough on
They're
D.
too. Their offense is good for. Their offense is super turnover prone. No, it's gonna be a Chiefs win. I feel confident about it being by more than 4 as well. This is a fun. Is this the game of the year so far?
Oh yeah.
I guess we said the same thing about Bills Dolphins, and that didn't really live up to it. So this could end up being a stinker too. But Cowboys Niners, like these are probably the top 2 teams in football right now, honestly. Eagles. I guess you can forget about the Eagles too, but it's gonna be a good football game right here tonight. Cowboys going to San Francisco and getting 4 points while they're on the flight. Go ahead, Mr. Joker.
How about them Cowboys? Give me 4 with the Cowboys.
Wow.
I'm a
Cowboys
Niner
with 4.
hater.
That's
Brock
brutal.
is due to get blown the hell up by Micah.
That is true. If there's one part of this Niners team that can be exposed, it's that offensive line, especially against the pass rush like Dallas is.
There's going to be a fun chess match going on between Dan Quinn and Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah. You know what? Give me the 49ers -4. I think I think Kyle Shanahan's going to win that chess match. I think this will be like a 6-point game. This will definitely be a close game. They'll come down to the wire, but I think the Niners do just enough. Maybe they get like a late field goal to kind of like push the lead ahead, and then the Cowboys aren't able to answer. Yeah, give me the Niners -4 here.
I'll take Niners by double digits.
Wow. Okay, a blowout then. All right.
I think Niners will show up, man. That's the best team in the NFL right now. I think Dallas has a great defense, but they're also kind of a fake team.
Mhm.
I've looked back at their schedule. They've blown out a terrible Giants team, a decrepit Patriots team, a decrepit Jets team, and they lost to the Cardinals. Granted, Mike McCarthy, I guess like the Cardinals are McCarthy's bogey team because I feel like he never beats Arizona. But I feel like that game, honestly, right now is a little more telling for me. I'm not saying the Cowboys are bad. I'm just saying they're nowhere near the Niners.
Mhm.
It's going to be a home game for the Cowboys, though.
Doesn't say
They pack out Levi's Stadium.
There's a lot of Cowboys fans in the Bay Area.
There's Cowboys fans everywhere, bro.
Yeah,
That's
there's a lot
my
of Cowboys
point.
fans everywhere.
So that doesn't really, I don't know how much that matters, but anyway, Niners by double digits.
Yeah. Yeah. The Cowboys are lucky. They'll never play a road game. Maybe if they go to London.
I'm expanding my lead this weekend. I feel good.
What are our disagreements so far? So we got that one. We got the Vikings. We got the
Pittsburgh Ravens.
So we got 3 right now. So I mean,
I
if I win all 3 of
I
those,
got
we can
3
go back.
dogs. I got 3
I mean, I
dogs.
took
No,
the Jags
I'm
earlier,
up by
too.
4.
Yeah. So I'm saying I'll be right back in it because it'd only be a 1-point difference if I won
There
all
we
3.
go. I took some. I got a big lead last week by being bold. so I'm going to continue to be bold.
All right, there you go.
I love points. Although
there we go.
I bet mostly favorites last week.
Right. All right. Last game, Monday Night Football. God, what a terrible Monday night game. Packers going to Raiders. Raiders getting a point in this game. I made a rule.
Packers getting
Raiders 2 weeks ago. I will never pick the Raiders again. I picked them against the Steelers. Josh McDaniels forgot how to count to freaking 8. So I will never pick the Raiders again. I will pick the Packers, and I will feel good about it. And if they fail, I will feel silly. Just kidding. I won't, because I'll know deep down I still made the right choice. The Raiders probably just got lucky. So yeah, give me the Packers -1. Very easy.
I take Packers -1 as well. That's a slam dunk.
Yep.
Green Bay, 1000%. You know, the funny thing is, I thought this game was at Lambeau at first, and I just saw they're going away. Yeah, they'll BS a win like they do in most of their wins this year.
Now, this is where you can say this is a Packers home game, because let's be real. I mean, Allegiant Stadium always fills out with the other teams.
Yeah, it's a trip to Vegas.
It's a trip to Vegas, exactly. So literally any West Coast Packers fan will be in attendance. And let me say, someone who lived on the West Coast my entire life, there's a lot of West Coast Packers.
There's way too many of them.
There's a lot.
It's all the Midwest transplants.
Of course. But there you go. That's NFL Week 5. It's a lot. Covered a lot on this pod. We went real in depth. Good Week 4 discussion. Good picks for Week 5. I'm really looking forward to being right back in it this time next week.
In your dreams.
We'll see, my friend. We'll see. But anyways, Daniel, on our pod, on the West Coast Draft Podcast, what we like to do is have some closing thoughts. I think we'll give the closing thoughts to Daniel, but Rob, before we do, I want to let you say what you're going to say. I'll let you give your closing thoughts first.
If one of us subscribe, we all subscribe. One of us click like, we all click like. And if one of us listens to Daniel's closing thoughts, we all listen to Daniel's closing thoughts.
And I'm going to be listening to Daniel's closing thoughts. So there you go. Take it away.
All right. Beautiful, man. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on here. Just talk football, man. Just go over all the games going on. So it's been a good time, man. It's been good to share my wisdom or lack of on the show today, but
we lack plenty already.
Yeah, don't worry. We're digging a further, deeper hole. It's all right. You're just making the hole deeper, my friend.
No, man, it's been fun talking about football, Detroit, or the Lions, reliving all the memories of Matt Stafford at the beginning of the podcast. Yeah, man. Hopefully I get my predictions right. Hopefully all our teams, win games this weekend. Hopefully the Packers.
I guess the Seahawks won't, because they're
we're losing the bye.
We're losing the bye.
Oh, how did I not? We didn't even talk about the Seahawks in this week's picks. How did I not register with me that they were on a bye? Anyway,
it's a double bye week for me.
Yeah, that's Huskies and Seahawks both being on a bye.
I love it. I love it.
Brutal weekend for Seahawks. When you got a lame college football slate like we do on Saturday, it makes it tough.
Exactly.
Are playing.
No, it makes it nice because I'm going to go chill this weekend. I'm probably not going to watch that much football this weekend. Sorry, viewers.
Sorry. Well, it's okay. I'll be here. Actually, I won't be watching much Sunday football because I'll be on the way to the game. So, Daniel, want to come back next Thursday and give us a breakdown on all the early Sunday games?
Yeah, I'm in, dude.
Let's do it. Well, there you go. Thank you all for watching the West Coast Draft Podcast. This has been Robert Jokinen, Daniel Lisenbee, and of course, yours truly, Beau Gleason.